Let's go. Some others might join in between. So, hello everyone. I'm Gary Machado, Executive Director of INA. Warm welcome to today's INA webinar titled Avatar 112 Deaf Experimentation. This webinar will introduce a project which aims to leverage a digital human avatar capable of using Italian Sign Language to enhance communication during emergency situations for people with hearing disabilities. The experiment evaluates the technical efficiency and effectiveness of this AI-driven solution in real-world emergency scenarios, focusing on avatar responsiveness and user experience. A few housekeeping matters before we begin. As usual, for those of you who are used to attending INA's webinars, this webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be made available online later this week, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, most probably. Let me remind you that this webinar is automatically captioned in your language. So to activate the caption, please follow the instructions written on the screen. Note that the speakers will be speaking in English, so please indicate English as the source language. I don't know if Sana, you showed the slide for the captions. Meanwhile, while I was speaking, if you have the slide for the captions.
Minor technical difficulties.
No worries at all. Otherwise, it's very easy to find everyone. You have the show captions button and you follow the steps there, and it's fairly easy. And if you have questions during the presentations, please use the Q&A section. So you have these things with Q&A rather than the chat. It's easier for us to manage the questions. And note that we have allocated sometimes for a dedicated Q&A session right after the presentation. Today, I'm glad to welcome our speaker, Gioacchino Santocono Russo. Gioacchino is a chief leader of NUE 112, dealing with TPSPs and AI technical projects. Gioacchino, the floor is yours, I believe.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Thanks, Gary, for this introduction. Thank you. I want to thank you, ENA, for organizing this webinar, giving us the opportunity to share this experimentation about the 112 avatar and the deaf portal. I will start opening the slide so we can have a first idea of what we are going to talk about. Sorry. We all see the slide, correct?
Yes, perfect. Gioacchino.
We are going to talk about the Italian experience and how we start to the experimentation and the first impression about our work. We all know how hard it is to communicate and thinking with the modern world, for deaf people. The 112 Sordi Deaf Portal, it is a national service created for the main purpose to help people with disability during an emergency of any kind. This portal helps facing the emergency. This is a resource supported by 112 emergency number, emergency service, Italian emergency service, the Italian Deaf Organization Council, ENS, and the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Economy have made in Italy. Calling the 800-800-112, the person in need will be connected as fast as possible to the 112 emergency center. Any citizen who seek for help or support can reach the operative center with a simple mobile device. As you can see, last year in 2023, the single emergency number of Piedmont region received 482 emergency calls through the deaf portal. Our center covers the whole national territory, 20 regions, and In Italy, there are more than 7 million deaf people with hearing loss or impairment loss. Our call taker have been trained to handle this help request, and in our application program, this kind of call requests are marked and highlighted differently. As you can see from the slide, we have two marks to picture about a sign here that pointed out that the caller is a deaf person. You can see specifics pop up pointing out to operator that someone is using the 112 SORDI portal, and even if the user is registered to the portal. If the user is registered to the deaf portal, there is the possibility to share with our operative center the personal data, so name, surname, address, and if known, even his caregiver. All this information are in the pop-up, and this can help a lot our call taker and faster the rescue. This is a system app-free. No need to activate or download anything. The caller is identified as a deaf citizen using the portal. Activate the Flag Me EML service, that is the app-free system, and the user will just receive a short message, an SMS, with an hypertext link to click on. At this point, a chat will activate and open directly in its mobile phone. This is the step: activate a chat with our operative center based in Saluzzo. I like to remember that Saluzzo covers all the national territory. Of course, the solution supports text chat, as already told, the possibility to share pictograms, photo, and GIF graphic interchange format to help the interview. Caller can share picture of the environment, for example, giving us a hint about the place and the situation he is facing. More accessibility, that's fundamental. There is the possibility to activate the video conference, and that is important feature for public safety answering point of first level, and even more for the medical emergency for the public safety answering point of second level, because this feature help the user to receive specific guideline. Of course, medical instruction, for example, in this case, if someone is choking, a nurse, a medical emergency operator, can give the first pre-instruction. And last but not least, the geolocalization. This SMS and app-free solution can share with us the geolocalization that is a cornerstone of any emergency service. Knowing where someone needs help is basic for us. This slide shows you briefly what I just told, how the system works. As you can see, the SMS will be sent from our operative center to the user. A chat will open. You can see in the second screen, you can see the chat activating and a map with the position. Must to remember that the global positioning system is updated every 30 seconds to have a better chance of information. But how this project has begun? It all started in 2023, when the city of Turin, with the 112 emergency service of Piedmont region, called together and rallied some startup and companies like Regola, Questit, to find, to look for innovative and cutting-edge solution just for the purpose to improve the emergency communication using sign language. So an avatar has been designed to help the people. And I will never be tired to repeat that accessibility and fast rescue is fundamental. It's pivotal for any emergency service. As you can see here, the supporting deaf people with artificial intelligence and sign language. But why the capital D? D deaf is used to describe people who identify themselves as culturally deaf and are actively engaged with the deaf community. Deaf with capital D indicates a cultural identity for people with hearing loss or hearing impairment that share a common culture and who usually have a common sign language. People who identify as deaf are often born deaf and sometimes have other family members who are deaf. This is a slide to show you how the system works at the moment. Control room and the caller in distress communicating through text chat to our chat system, like showed in slide 5 and 6. And here's come the innovation, the future. The next level of service will be to support deaf people using the artificial intelligence, still under experimentation. A new digital twin, a new digital assistant has been designed to help deaf people to speak, to interact with the to interact with the control room. But what is an artificial intelligence? An artificial intelligence is the science of making a machine that can think like human and performing a variety of advanced functions to learn, to see, to understand and translate languages, analyze data, and so on. It's opening a world to us of thanks to artificial intelligence. We have started in 2020 about just with sharing message with the caller, text chat, with closed questions with yes or no answer. But we are evolving, we are increasing and improving our service with thanks to the artificial intelligence. And sooner we will get here with a virtual assistant, an avatar that will help the actor of the call, so emergency service, any emergency service, and the user, deaf people or anyone with disabilities. And as you can see, with the pop-up with the mark of the sign language, it's possible to activate the avatar, the assistant that will translate the question. Okay, avatar comes from old Sanskrit and means embodiment in a person. But in this case, the avatar is an embodiment of an animation at the moment yet. That will help the call takers to interview the people using sign language and understand better what's happening. So the slide shows you how from a merely textual communication, it is possible to activate a virtual assistant that translates all the questions, making it easier and fast compiling the minimum set of data. So minimum set of data is for any operative center who is calling, where he needs help, and what's happening. Queries can be repeated for all to all the communication, and the assistant will be operative for all the time once activated. As you can see here in this slide, there is a picture of the future virtual assistant. So I repeat, to support the sign language, the system builds a virtual assistant that translates the question. The process can be repeated through all the conversation, and it is possible to repeat the question. Of course, the project is still ongoing and constantly improving. Our artificial intelligence assistant is ready to be connected with the next generation 112 and next generation 911. To be noted as a side note that 5G and high performance computing are fundamental and pivotal, so this solution can run and work properly. They are our best assets for a full of implementation of the AI, the artificial intelligence. So we need to spread as much as possible the 5G in all national territory. It's mandatory, even, because a better connection is a better service, better rescue. And please note, and this is important, that this service can be integrated with any API, any application program of any emergency service, because it is fast, very fast, and very simple to use. How the assistant will help deaf people and the operative center. The benefits of using an artificial intelligence digital twin avatar. Of course, increased form of interaction between caller and control room. A better form of interaction means more chance to understand each other, best communication, call taker and the user. Being more precise, clearer, without any misunderstandings. As already happened to me sometimes to have a misunderstanding with deaf people, missing something, missing the correct answer, address, the correct floor, because sometimes even the floor of an house or a building can make the difference. Reduce ambiguities and errors. No ambiguities, no more mistake. For deaf people, can be hard to understand written text. Capital letter, point, comma, and so on. And the digital twin will overcome this issue. Having a digital twin that will use sign language, asking and translating, will avoid this kind of ambiguity. We'll be sure what they are telling us, because we are sure that they understand us. And increase accessibility of the emergency service. This is one of the key of the future. Increase the accessibility of the emergency service. People with disabilities can reach out any emergency service easily for a faster and accurate rescue. No one will be left behind from now on. Not that we left someone behind, of course, but now we are even more precise and more accurate. This is the key and the benefits of having the artificial intelligence, but still we have some work to do. There are some service limitations that we are trying to overcome, and we'll be ready. And I hope we'll be ready soon to have a completely functional avatar and with artificial intelligence. To date, the avatar interacts through a series of defined phrases and context. At the moment, the avatar interacts through a series of pre-established, pre-arranged sentence and contents. We already set what to say. At the moment, we already only have a few questions to ask, just very few sentences. But we are working to enlarge all the system, our vocabulary, and for a better service. The avatar cannot yet respond autonomously to the caller. The avatar cannot reply on its own yet. It's not independent. It's follow the call taker leads at the moment. And the avatar only recognizes Italian sign language. Other sign language can be imported. Of course, implementing more language like Spanish, French, English is important, because in Italy we have even an international deaf community. So help all of them, it's important for us. The avatar at the moment uses only the Italian sign language. Soon a trained avatar will understand as much language as possible, and we hope very fast. One other point to face is learning to learn and adapt all to all the different Italian dialects. In Italy, we have 20 regions, and we have 20 dialects, and each dialect has his own sign language, his own different nuances. A word can change from Campania to Piedmont, or from Sicily to Lombardia, for example. So we are training the artificial intelligence to master all of these nuances. So for the service, and this mastering will let the service be most accessible as possible. Keep training the avatar to improve its communication skill. The artificial intelligence, the virtual assistant, has been trained with more than 20 hours of recording to understand and learn the sign language. We have to thank for this the National Deaf Council and the National Council of Research, ENS and CNR. We need to create a wider knowledge database, more to work with, so the assistant can evolve, and more things the assistant will learn. It will be more precise. So, for example, we are studying a way to teach to the artificial intelligence medical questions and terminology, so it can help the medical emergency in the future as public safety answer point of second level. And then having an expressive avatar. This is the list of my point, but it's not. It's not the list. It's the last point, but it's not the list, because having an expressive avatar is fundamental. Facial expression is very important for deaf people. From the mimic, from our facial mimic, they can understand better the queries, how urgent they are. So this is just the beginning. We are at the beginning of this work, and we are facing all these limitations, and we want to overcome all of them, because each point it's important. It's the base to a precise and emergency service. Of course, this is just the beginning. We are using the artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence will change sooner rather than later all the emergency service. It's a revolution in act, and we have to face and going with it, with the revolution. We have a new sharp tool to work with. The artificial intelligence can help the call taker in every way. Maybe we don't even have a complete idea yet of how much the artificial intelligence, this new tool, can help us, because it understands, it translates, it supports, evaluate. It can even evaluate You can understand from the voice, from the tone of the voice, the state of agitation of the user. You can understand maybe if the user, the caller, has an heart attack, for example. So the artificial intelligence will help both the people in danger and the emergency service. And what a bright future will come. Of course, this is the end of my presentation. I want to thank you all for your time, and I will answer gladly some of your questions. Thank you.
Maybe Gioacchino will play the video first.
Yes, now there is the video, of course.
So Sanna will be playing it. Thank you, Gioacchino. There is already a question in the Q&A, which I will report. I will read out loud here. Is there anyone else who would like to ask a question? If you have a question in mind, please do use the Q&A section of this webinar, and please don't hesitate to ask questions to Gioacchino. I'm sure some questions will be coming. So, Gioacchino, the first question, rather straightforward from Pedro, was keeping deaf people personal data in a database, is it GDPR compliant?
We don't save any personal data. Just the dev portal save the personal data because, of course, the user agreed to share with it. But otherwise, as emergency service, we don't save any personal data.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? How do you plan to do it with roamers?
Well, that's actually a hard question to face because it's very technical, and at the moment, no one here of our technician is here, so I cannot specifically talk about it.
You cannot talk about it, Giacchino, you said?
I cannot talk about any technical issues much because I am not authorized to. Can you hear me? No, I don't know if there is some. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Giacchino. I can hear you. I mean, basically, the question was how to deal with roaming in case some people are roaming from, from other countries.
Okay. Well, at the moment, our FlagMe EML chat has been already integrated with a translation service. So if the user specify which is its mother language, we can activate a translator, an automatic translator within the chat.
Okay, thank you, Giacchino. Any other question, anyone?
For about other sign language, at the moment we don't have. The avatar can speak only just Italian, can understand, but we don't have other language. We are implementing it.
Mm-hmm. Very clear, thank you. There is also some comments on the chat, which is, can you share your contact information to discuss this solution further? I'm wondering, I think your contact details were on the slides, Giacchino, as well?
No, I don't have the contacts. I will write in the chat.
Okay, thank you, Giacchino.
Thanks.
All right. Anyone has any other question? While you're here, it's your chance to ask questions. No other questions so far, I believe. We're giving a few more seconds. No question. All right, so I'll jump to the rather towards the conclusions to this webinar. Once again, thank you, Giacchino, for the excellent presentation, and to all of you for your active presentation. Before we conclude this webinar, I'd like to give the floor to my colleague Sanna, who will update you on our next activities and webinars.
Thanks to you all. Thanks for the patience, for giving me this opportunity to share with you this project.
Thank you, Giacchino. Sanna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So for the end, I would just like to remind you about some of our upcoming activities, and also remind you that there will be a survey after this webinar when you close it. So please do take a minute to answer it. It helps us make our future webinars better. Then we have some upcoming webinars, which you can see on the screen. Next one we have on smart routing of emergency vehicles, and then some coming on our certification programs, and a few other interesting topics as well. And new webinars will be announced for this fall as well. So do take a look at our website to see all of the upcoming webinars. Then I would also like to remind you that the registration has been opened for the INA 2025 conference, which will be in April 2025 in Helsinki, Finland. So if you're interested, you can take a look at our website and register through there. We also have an upcoming members seminar on NG112 and AI days in Tenerife in December. So if you're interested in that, the details can also be found on our website, and you can register through there. Thank you, everyone, for the webinar on my side, and I'll see you on the next webinar.
Thank you, Sanna. So everyone, please do keep an eye on our website and the newsletter for more information about the upcoming webinars and activities. Again, thank you to Giacchino for for the presentation, and to my colleague Sanna for coordinating the webinar, and to all of you for your participation. We look forward to seeing you all very soon. And again, take care. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Bye.